Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Lady, and we are doing another installment of our spooky season saga, where we just dibble and dabble in scary movies until November. Hell, we might just keep it going. But today, we are going to be talking about Scream. Oh yes, that Scream. The movie starts off with Drew Barrymore answering the phone. Hello? Hey. Who's this? I think you might have the wrong number. Okay, bitch. I'll try another number. She tells the caller that he has the wrong number and to have a good night. She is being so polite by telling this man, look, you have the wrong number, and if you really want to talk to somebody that bad, call them 900 numbers that you see on the TV because I don't have the time. I don't know if it's just me, but I haven't seen this type of popcorn since I was like 5. Now, Ghostface calls back, and I will say that she's better than me because you got one time to call me and for me to tell you that you got the wrong number to think that you're gonna call me back. I'm putting that phone off the hook and I'm watching my movie. Now, she's sitting here having a whole conversation with a stranger on the phone who don't even sound cute. To be real, he sounds like he don't wash his ass. He's asking her, what's your favorite scary movie? And she's like, Halloween. I'm like, girl, me too, because Michael Myers just does something to me. Now, this wig is so cute on Drew Barrymore. He's asking her, do you have a boyfriend? And at this point, girl, hang up and call the police. She burned her popcorn playing with this man, and he talk about, I'm about to gut you like a fish. Who? Not me. She really goes around the house locking the doors. Like, why wasn't the doors locked in the first place, girl? The doorbell rings and she's talking about, who's there? Girl, if you don't get something, a knife, a bat, a gun, something to protect yourself. After all this chit-chatting on the phone, the popcorn on the stove is on fire and Ghostface is finally in the house. She sees a car coming, which is probably her parents, so she tries to go and wave them down, but Ghostface is in the window behind her and he busts through the glass. This is some weak ass glass. Oh, I forgot to mention, Ghostface killed her boyfriend already. Ghostface busts through the house like a stunt double, and needless to say, Drew Barrymore gone. Rest in peace, girl. Her parents run around the house looking for her, and I'm sorry to tell you, but Casey is gone. The parents are sitting there like, where is she? If you could hear her on the other house phone, that means that she's close by. Y'all not doing enough for me. Ghostface got Casey hanging from a daggum tree and her mama outside on the porch screaming. Neve Campbell is here. She's in the room with her window wide open and her boyfriend pop up. Now her dad comes to her door and is like, I heard some screaming. She's like, no you didn't. No you didn't. Now she got the room blocked by the closet door. I don't think so. What you doing in here? After her daddy says he's going to get some sleep, her and her boyfriend start making out on the bed. Now, Sydney's not about to give up no cheeks for this man. We are finally here at the infamous Woodsboro High School. Sydney got this accountant looking hairstyle. I don't know. It's giving, I'll do your taxes for $45. Oh, there's Gail Weathers. Now we meet Sydney's best friend, Tatum, who's played by Rose Gowan, aka Paige from Charmed. Now, Sydney's like, what happened? And Tatum like, girl, you don't know? Casey and her man got killed last night. The cops are questioning Sydney to know if she knows anything about what happened to Casey and her boyfriend last night, but she don't know anything. Now, Sydney and her friends are talking, and let me say this. This is an all-star cast, because what is Shaggy doing here from Scooby-Doo? Malibu's Most Wanted is here. Like, I mean, come on. Randy is definitely on something because he thinks that Shaggy, damn, I'm sorry, Stu killed Casey, and oh, he's smart. Sydney's at the house watching the news and they show pictures of her mama, and I'm not gonna lie, that girl mama's scary as hell. I used to have nightmares about her mama when I was a kid. Sydney takes a nap and she really went to sleep because when she woke up, the TV was off and it was already nighttime. Now, Sydney gets a call from Tatum saying that she's about to pick her up. Practice was late. When she gets off the phone with Tatum, the phone rings and it's Ghostface asking, what's your favorite scary movie? Sydney thinks that this is Randy, and girl, it's not Randy. That's when Ghostface says, it's not about who I am, but where I am. Is this boy the Riddler or what? Ghostface and Sydney are going back and forth, and this is a dumbass chase. Like, Sydney trying to open the door, but the chain is on. She act like she don't know how to take the chain off for real. Like, ain't this your house? You don't know how to get out of this motherfucker? She tried to call 911 and it doesn't work, so she's trying to type a text message from her computer to 911. When the killer runs away, her boyfriend automatically just pops up. Like, that's too quick for me. That's too much of a coincidence, and I feel like you done try to kill me. Then a cell phone falls out of his pocket, and it seems like something is wrong because how you get here so fast and Ghostface was just here? She running away from him and goes to the door, and that's when we meet Dewey. He has the Ghostface mask at the door, and he ends up scaring himself and Sydney. We learn that Tatum is Dewey's little sister, and Dewey is supposed to be a policeman, but he's a toy cop at this point. Here comes Gail Weathers, and she's always trying to record something or get some type of scoop or tea from somebody. They end up taking Billy's greasy ass to the police station because shit is not adding up and they need his phone records to make sure that he is not the killer. Gail ends up harassing Sydney as she's coming out of the police station, and Sydney is really on some thug shit because she knocked Gail's marbles loose. Sydney and Tatum are having a sleepover, and these are some little ass beds. You mean to tell me Tatum almost grown and have to sleep in this twin size bed? Come on now. The killer ends up calling Sydney while she's at Tatum's house. Like, how you even know she was there? They get to school the next morning, and Gail Weathers basically tells Sydney the man that she put away for her mother's murder ain't the right man. She's talking about Cotton Weary. Now, he shows up in the third Scream, which happens to be my favorite movie from the franchise. Billy and Sydney are talking, and he's trying to plead his case, talking about she hadn't been the same since her mama died and she need to get over it. Get over what? Her mama died. This is a whole red flag. His greasy, footloose, extra looking ass is pissing me off. Sydney's in the bathroom, and these chicken heads are calling her mama a slut. You should have made her drink toilet water. Anywho, Ghostface is in there, and how'd he get in school if he wasn't already a student? Wink, wink. There's a party tonight, so Tatum wants Sydney to come, and I'm just like, why are y'all partying and there's a killer on the loose killing kids? The principal ends up getting poked up after he looks for Ghostface. Look at Wes Craven dressed as Freddy Krueger. Billy and Stu pay Randy a visit at his job, and that's when Randy tells Stu that Billy's gotta be the killer. He is a professional in killerology. We're talking about Randy here, so he knows what he's talking about. Dewey drops off Tatum and Sydney at the party, and this is how I know Dewey is the worst cop in the history of cops. Why are you letting these kids have a party with a knife-slinging ghost running around? Of course, Gail Weathers' nosy ass is here. Stu tells Tatum to go get some more beer, which is crazy because he's sending her ass to get slaughtered. Gail comes in with Dewey and sets up a whole camera in this party. Now, Tatum's in the garage and Ghostface pops up. She's talking about, ooh, you wanna play psycho killer? Break a bottle and stab his ass like he did Drew Barrymore. Ghostface is getting his ass whooped, I'm not gonna lie, but why would you try to crawl through this little ass doggy door? Well, she gets, I'm not sure what happened, honestly. Like, I don't know, but she dead though. Sydney is looking for Tatum, and that's when Billy greasy ass pops up. He gives me the ick so bad. Like, I know y'all girlies love y'all some Billy. It's a no for me, dog. Half the party is leaving to go see their principal, who happens to be strung up in front of the school just like Casey was. These kids need counseling. Stu tells Sid and Billy to go to his room and, talk out their problems, and Billy talked Sid right out them panties. After this, Sydney starts questioning Billy about who he called for his one call when he was at the police station. She thinks he called her from jail whenever she was at Tatum's house, and while Billy is trying to bullshit Sydney basically, Ghostface comes out of nowhere to stab him. Sydney, there are no knife holes in his shirt. Then he's talking about Sydney, and he's holding his hand out being dramatic as hell. Sir, you didn't even get stabbed. You gotta do better. She runs from Ghostface and crawls out of a window and is yelling help to Gail Weathers' van, and that's when Ghostface makes her fall on the boat. Like, Sydney, are you okay? Do I need to call an ambulance, girl? While Randy is watching a movie with Jamie Lee Curtis in it, I do find it funny that he's like, Jamie, turn around, the killer's behind you. When in real life, his name is indeed Jamie, and the killer was behind him. The camera Gail set up has a 30-second delay, so when they try to yell and save Randy, the cameraman steps out of the van and ends up getting poked up too. Gail gets back from her stroll with Toy Cop Dewey, and she realizes her cameraman is done for. She really don't care because as he's sliding off the top of the van, she just tosses him into the bushes. Now, Stu and Randy are begging Sydney to shoot one another, claiming that each other is the killer. Stu's acting is giving bullshit in this moment, and we'll see why very soon. She shuts the door on both of them because we don't have time for the games at a time like this. Now, here Billy go. Man, I thought you was dead. He comes stumbling down the steps being extra as hell. He telling Sydney, give me the gun, and he lets Randy in and ends up shooting him. Then he licks the corn syrup off his finger and Stu pops up, and that's when we learn they've been poking everybody up. They said Sydney gotta play a game. This ain't Saw. Billy tells Sydney him and Stu framed Cotton Weary and that him and Stu actually killed her mama. Turns out Billy did it because her mama was a slut that slept with Billy's dad, which made his mama run off and leave him. He got mommy issues. Now, Sydney, I'm not gonna lie. Why everybody calling your mama a slut? Was she on that type of timing? They bring Sydney's dad out and tells her they plan on blaming him for everything. They're gonna make it look like he snapped, Sydney shot herself in the head, and then the dad left Billy and Stu for dead. That's when Billy and Stu start stabbing each other up, and Billy ain't like the way Stu stabbed him, so he proceeds to stab his ass more because Billy's just that petty. Stu's best line is said in this moment. I'm feeling a better woozy here. The gun they did have goes missing, and guess who turned gangster? Gail Weathers. Well, she thought she was gangster, but Billy took the gun and kicked her ass out the house. Gail had the safety on. Now, as Billy is about to shoot Gail, Stu realizes that Sydney has dipped out. She calls him on the phone and is using Ghostface voice. That's what I call a Uno reverse. Billy's getting mad, telling Stu that he needs to go find Sydney, and Stu has been leaking ever since he got poked up earlier by Billy. Stu asks Sydney, did she really call the police? And Sydney's like, yeah. That's when Stu says, my mom and dad are gonna be pissed. I mean, you've been catching bodies with Billy. That's the least of your worries. Sydney comes out dressed as Ghostface and stabs Billy with the umbrella. You know what? That's creative as hell, Sydney. I like that. Here comes Stu trying to tackle Sydney. I thought you said you was feeling woozy. Well, he ends up with a TV on his head. Randy pops up, but he gets rocked by Billy, so he goes night-night. Billy is about to stab Sydney when Gail pops up and hits his ass with the knife. Now, they think that Billy is dead, and that's when Randy tells them, look, you gotta be careful because them killers be coming back to life. And Silly ends up popping Billy in his forehead after he tried to do a jump scare. Sydney's dad ends up busting through the hallway closet, and I'm like, sir, you're lucky your daughter isn't on one, because if I was her, I would have accidentally shot you. After everything, Gail is still reporting like her last cameraman ain't over there stinking in the bushes. But that's the end of Scream. Let me know down below if you enjoyed this video, what movie you would like to see next. I do have The Seed of Chucky coming right on up for you guys. Anywho, it's your girl Letty, and we'll be back quicker than you can say abracadabra.